20 years. Be there or don't.
Half-Life 2, released nearly 2 decades ago by a popular video game company known as Valve. It's yet another game I keep crawling back to like a little bitch because it allows me to treat a woman with respect and physics. The game, like its predecessor, has won countless Game of the Year awards for innovating and revolutionizing shit in games. It has a graphical style that was for the most part unmatched for its time, as well as an engine which has stood the test of time up to this very day, and has not only spawned plenty of standalone titles on its own, but also opened the floodgates for modding. And isn't it quite something?
Well, shit.
Wake the fuck up, mommy. I pissed the bed.
Hannibal Lecter 2 has had somewhat of a bumpy development. It was to be this overly gritty, heavily dystopian setting, set in what looked like the globally sleepless shithole known as New York, right up until someone who we would now consider a War Thunder player hacked in and stole the fucking beta version of the game. And much like his successor, he too had something to fucking prove. This has forced Valve to remake the entire thing in like a year. In doing so, they revolutionized and innovated shit once again. I fucking swear. To them, innovating is like vodka to Slavic people. Innovate this, innovate that. How about you conjure up what's left of your integrity and fix your fucking games? But all tangents aside, Half-Life 2 was the first to use expressive facial animations, paving the way for shit like this. As well as the first to use advanced physics, allowing players to do shit never before done in gaming. The game was to feature almost as large of an arsenal as the first game. But by the end, Gaben slammed his big fat fucking salami on the desk and said,
"Science, bitch."
And thus, the gravity gun was born. A weapon that essentially got not only an entire chapter, but also an entire fucking game. As well as that obnoxious cock-in-the-ass achievement. But I digress. In this game, you once again take the role of the fan-favorite Gargoyle Fat McGill, some 20 years after the antics involving a certain crystal. By killing the CEO of Anime Bitches in Zen, Gordon kinda pulled the attention of the interdimensional dick farmers, who are aptly named as the Combine, who take over the Earth in 7 hours and either castrate or sterilize everyone on Earth. Now, 20 years later, you're back, and it's time to essentially become a fucking god, as if you're playing some Home Bargains version of Divinity Original Sin.
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over.
How about you
again.
go fuck yourself, wise guy? You stupid piece of shit.
Suck on this, you piece of shit.
I didn't see you get on.
Welcome to City 17, a Combine-controlled shithole somewhere in Eastern Europe. You start off by making your way through the train station when you abruptly get stopped dead in your tracks.
You citizen, go with me. I'm gonna give you some privacy for this. Now.
About what you did 20 years ago.
Got a free gun?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yes, Barney, what is it? I'm in the middle of a critical test.
You still at it. God damn it, you didn't learn shit from Black Mesa,
Listen
did you?
here, Barnabich. Do you know what it's like using that sentient dollar store chicken as a fucking
Yeah.
fleshlight?
Go fuck yourself, Doc. You, get the hell out.
As you escape through the window, you continue making your way through the alley and into what used to be the train station's main hall. Inside the apartment complex, you begin to see the aftermath of your little venture some odd 20 years past.
Alert. You did not pick up the can. Code. Search. Find. Set inside.
As your foreskin is on the line, you must flee the apartment complex. You rush through the corridors and up the stairs. You finally make it to the rooftops when suddenly you hear a familiar voice bellowing from above.
I live again, motherfucker.
A hop, skip, and a wait, you get yourself trapped and ambushed, potentially repeating what happened last time you got captured, back in Black Mesa. Oh, wait.
Leave me alone!
Get that motherfucker. I told him from his foreskin.
This is Alex, the thing that will essentially be your companion throughout the remainder of the franchise from this point on. Kinda like that one floating fuck from another game, except far less obnoxious. She leads you to the lab of a former Black Mesa scientist.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, no!
This is Dr. Kleiner, a piece of shit that unfortunately survived the so-called Wheat Purge back in Black Mesa, and is now acting as one of the key resistance members. He spews some horseshit about how he can teleport people out of the city to help them escape the Combine and join the resistance who reside on Epstein Island, and he plans to teleport you there as well.
Freeman, darling, you will make a good asset to them.
I should have killed your ass when I had the chance, you bald fuck.
Is that right? Fleshlight, tap!
Hey, Gordon! The big fucking USB stick is on full alert. I've never seen it lit up like that.
Anyway, here, take your fucking dildo. Get out of my sight.
Through the train yard on a hail of bullets which your oversized can opener can't do shit against, you finally come across the first combat scene.
They'll be looking for you now. You'd better run.
You make your way through the canals, but as you do so, you learn that the Dick Farmer lackeys have compromised the canal resistance network. It is no longer safe. Once we finally manage to crawl out of the walls of your home, we come across the Charred Man. Now, why is this important? It ain't. I just thought it would be funny to mention that this thing was modeled after a real corpse. Like, imagine being so base that you turn a literal corpse of some unlucky dude into a fucking model asset for your game.
Nice corpse, bro. Yes, you will make a fine addition to my game.
A little down the way you come across the first out of 2 drivable vehicles in the game, an airboat, and thus you fuck right off through the radioactive waste and stagnant water through numerous roadblocks, some of which you skip because you're a lazy piece of shit like me, and continue on until you reach one of the resistance bases, where some dude tells you how dead you are, but you're not, because irony, and gun, which you use to send some poor schmucks flying, and also delete an attack chopper. You finally made it to Black Mesa East.
It appears it's Gordon Freeman. Black Mesa. We go.
You reunite with yet another survivor from Black Mesa, as well as woman. Oh, hold up, what's in here? Well, you fucking nerd. Some more exposition and a catfight later, you and Alex go to the backyard to play with your new toy, the gravity gun.
The primary trigger emits a charge. You can punch stuff and send it flying. Oh, God.
Neat. You play around with the best dog known to man, and otherwise, until...
Combine sweeping the area!
Yup, your fun time is over. The Dick Farmers found your hideout, which is now under siege.
Take Gordon out of here. Head for the coast. Do not go through
Gordon goes to Ravenholm. Welcome to Ravenholm. Once a quiet mining town and a resistance base, now it's your fucking playground for your newly acquired thinger. Thing is, this chapter is meant exactly for it. So, go apeshit.
But who is this? Another...
This is Father Grigori, a crazed monk/priest. How crazed he is depends on how you see the Vatican and the people living in it. He is effectively the sole survivor of this now infested shithole, after the Combine shelled the fuck out of the city with the sentient fleshlight canisters, essentially turning everyone into your average bath salts user. And transforming the town itself into Birmingham 2.0. Come on, we gotta get the fuck out of here, Asgonmald. The place is a fucking mess. He presumably sacrifices himself so that you could escape. R.I.P. Osmond Lloyd. He died alone.
Fuck.
Down the road and past the shootout, you get informed that you are gonna get to drive the second and last vehicle in the game, a buggy.
We drive.
Right, so we are now at the lighthouse, and it's about to be attacked by...
Free bird, bitch, toy tin can. Remember me?
That thing.
You burnt me and my shit with a rocket engine back in that dingy shithole.
I don't care who the IRS sends. I'm not paying taxes.
I was just doing my job. Now I'm going to be
doing your mom!
Kamikaze.
getting cold, all thanks to you. And I think to myself, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Fuck you.
Welcome to the floor is lava, bitch. In this part of the game, if you step on the sand, you will basically ring the fucking dinner bell for these green bastards. So to avoid doing so, you'll need to use useless shit to stay off sand, such as boxes, pellets, your relative's wheelchair, divorce papers, your ex-wife, Joe Biden, and so forth. Once you make it to this fucking pit right here, all bets are off. You can just jump in straight.
Holy shit. Finally my fucking quesadilla. Oh, you're here too? Figures. Alright, let's go. Here, take this fucking dumpling. Congrats, you're now god of bugs and shit. Now get the fuck out of here.
So the bugs are now your friend thanks to this asexually reproducing dumpling that you can throw at people and make them smell like shit. Bugs hate that, so they attack whatever the fuck smells like the inside of this fucking thing. Through the coast, up the hill, and through the tube, you reach the former prison now known as Nova Prospect. Basically shit's worse than the prison in Guantanamo Bay. It is here that you reunite with Alex, who is here to rescue her dad. Here we find out that woman number 2 has betrayed us all. Alex forces Mossman to take her dad to the teleporter, because Alex is apparently just about as stupid as James Corden. Obviously setting herself up, as well as us, to be betrayed by the bitch yet again. Then Alex presses some random fucking buttons, and we two get teleported to... fuck.
Slick? Gargoyle? Shut it. Nova Prospect explodes and both of you end up here out of nowhere a week later. Right, that fucking does it. Door's right there. Go on and get yourself fucking killed. And take that fucking bucket of bolts with you.
As you step outside, yep, it's a fucking war zone. This section is the build-up to the culmination of the game. A big fucking shooty section. I mean bowling. It is a full-on rebellion. You see, you nuking that fucking prison by using that teleporter, you kinda became the symbol of rebellion. By them, and soon by the Combine. You're to be seen as nothing short of an ultimate apex alpha human male. The one they refer to as the one free man. To breed them all. What the fuck is the script? Anyway, you play tower defense, punt the ball, Alex slams up the building, bonk, capture. More walking later, you're told by a random schmuck that some Combine just woke up and chose violence. So now there are snipers in the street, so you'd make your way up the building, where Barney is pinned down by the said snipers. You send them to Kingdom Fuck and make your way to the Combine Overwatch Nexus, which we are going to.
And if you see Dr. Breen, tell him I said, fuck you!
And here we finally are, the big fucking USB stick. You sneak in through a conveniently placed hole in its side and begin making your way upwards via the Breen's wild ride, which honestly takes rather too long, though it does put a sense of scale on the fucking thing. Suddenly you get kicked off the ride and get all your weapons confiscated and vaporized, except for one. The fucking Gaben's Lovechild absorbs all the damn beams and gets fucking supercharged. Now, you get your one final toy to fuck around with, the Super Gravity Gun.
So this is Dr. Freeman, an idiot. What the fuck is driving you to do all this shit? Spit it out. Talk, you motherfucker. Jesus fucking Christ.
You keep playing with your new weapon as you make your way further into the oversized USB drive. Then you blow up an angry stick bug with balls when suddenly Breen reappears on the screen.
Dude, what is your fucking problem? You disappear for 20 years, then you suddenly break into my house and start throwing my clerks around like a fucking pit bull playing with a goddamn toddler.
One last ride. You're brought up to the Breen's office. Your new toy gets taken away and you're greeted by the traitor woman. Down the corridor, you roll into his office.
Sup, bitch?
How quaint.
A message from Barney. Fuck you!
Dude, can you stop? Was it because I took up that order from Elon, the one to create or summon anime bitches?
You stole my frisbee back in Black Mesa.
Wait, you did what?
Shut it, woman.
Did you really steal his frisbee?
Oh, what the fuck does it matter? He kept trying to eat the fucking casserole with it. I had to do it. What I still don't get is why start all this shit show over a fucking toy.
A toy? It was his most prized possession. You fucking moron.
And you say that's why this shit show is happening.
Alex.
Fuck you, you fossilized cunt. Gordon?
No. Damn you, Breen. Go fuck yourself.
Already done it 5 times today. But hey, tempting.
Try it with a pair of scissors, you sick fuck.
I think I shall. I'm a call in some alien pussy just for such an occasion, though I'll have to trade all 3 of you for it.
But what about his frisbee?
Oh, fuck the frisbee! The dude also wanted Zhongli, but that one asthmatic guy told me not to give it to him. He destroyed everything, all for a fucking frisbee.
Zhongli, to you fucking knoblicker.
There, moron. You will get yours soon enough.
Holy shit.
So there were anime bitches after all.
How about it, Dr. Freeman?
Kiss my ass, you fucking walnut.
Well, in that case, I guess we shouldn't delay. I'll go open the portal. What the fuck are you doing, you stupid hag?
You stole a man's frisbee. I have hysteria and I must scream.
Breen is on the run. You must stop him from summoning alien bitches to Earth. And so you give chase into the final showdown. But not before the dumb fuck dropping the damn gravity gun as he runs off like a little bitch. Past the screens, the Dark Fusion reactor is revealed. It is what powers the USB stick. It is also the thing that creates the portal to the Combine overworld. And Breen intends to use it as a means of escape. You step into the elevator and begin your advance towards the reactor.
It's about time to send your ass to Kingdom Fuck.
How the fuck did you...
So prepare to suck it, you fat rat.
No! You fool!
Time, Dr. Freeman? Is it really
Oh, for fuck's sake. Can you just hurry up and put me back into stasis or whatever the fuck?
Well, excuse me, Princess. I'm just simply trying to smoothly segue the plot.
By yapping like a fucking fossilized dog with a severe case of autistic asthma.
It's a speech impediment, you mentally impaired dimwit.
Yeah, whatever. Look, seeing as we are already in that stasis shit of yours, I might as well get comfortable. Call me when my time comes around again. Now off with you, you Ronald Reagan looking ass. What a bitch.
Alright, quick note, thanks for the 1K subs. Never expected to get any support, let alone as much as I did. All of you are goddamn badasses. 2. This video was the longest piece of shit I have worked on thus far, and I have no intention of stopping, so stay tuned. That's all. Now go on, get out of here. Do some chores or something, I don't care.